Hi, my name is James Garbett. This is the first video blog of the construction of my new house in New Westminster. Just wanted to share with you the steps that it took to get to this point. As you can see in the background, there's an excavator there, but it took a few months to get to this stage. So step one, get an architect, draw up some plans. Once that architect has done that and you're happy with the plans, you take them to the city for approval. The city is going to require them to be stamped by an engineer, so structurally approved by a structural engineer, and in this case they also requested a drainage plan as well. So once those plans are approved, then you get along the stage of a building permit. Aside from the building permit, you need a demolition permit. So to get the demolition permit, you got to get hazmat through here to have a letter of clearance that there is no hazardous materials in the existing home if you're demolishing one, which takes a bit of time as well. So for me, that was a $5,900 job to get rid of all the asbestos, and now we got that clearance. We got everything approved for demo, everything approved for building. And once the excavator shows up on site, make sure your gas meter is removed, because I did not do that, and that delayed things another 2 weeks. So make sure you call Fortis to remove the gas meter. Anyways, keep watching the progress of the home. As you can see, we're excavating on site. Last video I posted was demolition. To get from demolition to here, basically what we had to do was mow down the house, have a city inspector come out for a demo inspection. What that demo inspection involved was just to make sure that everything was to grade, that all the materials were off site, and a few other things, like including fencing off any trees that were on city ground, which I forgot to do and had to get a re-inspection done. So what we're doing now is we have some framing materials right behind me to my left, and we have an excavator excavating along my neighbor's wall. We're using those framing materials to create a little bit of a support wall, because we are getting pretty close to them and we don't want anything to cave in. It's just a precautionary thing. So just a few other things. We have decided to go about 6 inches deeper than required, and we're going to fill it with gravel just for adequate drainage. Better to be safe than sorry. You can only do it once, right? And otherwise it's going to cost a hell of a lot more money to do it a second time. Secondly, we have a temporary power station there. So unless you're really friendly with the neighbors and want to rely on your neighbor's power the entire time, I recommend you put one of these guys up so you have power anytime you want. Also get the temporary fence up for security reasons. You don't want anyone falling in the hole. And if you can see behind me way in the distance over there, you'll see that 4-foot high fence that protects the trees on city land. It's a requirement. They want it fenced off and with the orange mesh, just so that no one damages the trees. Anyway, that's it for now. Next time you see me, I guess we'll be doing foundations. Lots has happened since the last video. I believe we were doing the excavation then, and now, as you can see, we have foundation behind me. So the steps that took place to get from there to here, well, there's quite a few. So basically the excavation took place. They got down to the right depth. Once the excavation was complete, then we had to call the surveyor out to pin the foundation points. Once that was done, you get the framers in to put up the forms for the foundation. You get the rebar guys to do the rebar. You call the structural engineer to inspect it all. Once he gives the okay, you call the city to do a non-encroachments inspection to make sure that the forms and foundation are going where they're supposed to be before the concrete is poured. Once you get that passed, you pour the concrete, you let it cure, you take off the forms, you do the drain towel, you get the drain towel inspected, you put the gravel in and sand and backfill, and that's what we're doing right now. Oh, before you do that, you get the damp proofing and membrane in, and you do all the water connections, sewer connections, sanitary connections. You pass your drain towel inspection, your water leader inspection, your service inspections, and now that's where we are today. So today we're backfill, we're getting ready for framing soon. Gravel's being poured in, getting ready for the concrete slab being poured, and that's about it. I'll show you around. Hi there, how are you? Doing a little video. I'm doing a video. Yeah, no, I am talking to myself. Yeah. So right down there we have the sump. Oops. So the sand, gravel, it's definitely a construction site. Hopefully next time I chat with you, you'll see a framed up house with a roof and windows on. And that is it for today. Thanks for watching. Hi folks, James here. As you can see behind me, the house has progressed a lot since the last video. The house is all framed up, the roof is on, the windows are on, the doors are on for the most part. There's a few loose ends, but otherwise we are pretty much at lock-up stage. Right now inside the home we have the electrician hopefully starting this week. We have the plumber working away, heating guys working away, and once the electrician, plumbing, and heating guys have done their thing, along with some low voltage stuff like security system, audio visual, central vacuum, we'll be ready for insulation, vapor barrier, then drywall. But we're not there yet. How about I show you the inside of the home so you can see where we're at. So we have a little bit of a meaty pillar here, 12 inches at the top, 24 at the base. Oversized door, 8 feet high. Windows with muntin bars. Nice oversized entryway. And when it comes to the ceiling height, and as you can see behind me, I mean it's a little bit dark in here, but that's about 16 feet high from the top to the bottom. And you can see the kind of effect that those bars in the windows are doing. In that insert right there, that will be where the gas fireplace is going to go. More French doors there, future kitchen right here, future dining room right here. As you can see, the plumber is working away, as well as the heating guy. Electrician has not started, but very soon. So, there haven't been many inspections that have taken place since the last video, but there was one for the vapor barrier under this slab in the basement. It's a bit dark down here, so I'm just going to open the door to get some more light in. After the excavation took place, what happens is they put gravel in where the basement slab is going to be going, as you can see right down there. Now that gravel is compacted, plumber comes in, lay the pipes where he needs to for kitchen and bathroom. It is leveled, compacted, a vapor barrier is put in place, and then the city inspects it. As you can see behind me, there is crawl space as well. It's about 4 feet in height. That stuff was filled with sand, compacted as well, and there's a concrete slab there with vapor barrier as well. Now, being an RS1 zone home, there are some limitations to the size of the home that we can build. On this lot, I can build about a 3,000 square foot home. If it was NR1 zone, it would exempt cellar space. Now, cellar space is basically a basement that is no more than a foot above grade, and that does not count towards your floor area limitations, but for RS1, there are no exemptions for cellar space, so most of the square footage of this home are on the main floor and upstairs, and as a result, the basement has about 700 square feet with about a 600 square foot crawl space, which does not count as finished floor area. So in the crawl space, we'll put our gas furnace. The basement suite here will be a legal one-bedroom suite, which has certain drywall requirements. I'm also going to be separating the heating system with electric baseboard downstairs, just to keep it completely separate and legal. Whether we have the intent to rent it or not, it's just nice to have it. It's not that expensive to do all the legal suite requirements when you're building a home, but if you don't do them and you try to rent out an unauthorized suite, it is very expensive to redo the work if the city ever starts to crack down on that stuff. Anyway, that's it for now. Hopefully next time you see the video, there'll be drywall on the walls, or at least insulation in there. Hi, James here. As you can see behind me, the house is wrapped. We're ready for drywall. We're ready for siding. Lots of progress has happened since the last video. It's taken a while to get here. There's definitely been some delays in lessons learned for the next build. A few things that I will mention, which is vitally important when you're building a home. Once you get to framing stage, it is important to follow a certain sequence of trades. I'm just going to move us inside as it starts to rain here. So what that means is, first you have the foundations done. One little tip when you're doing foundation, I would say it's very important to bring the electrician that you're going to use on the job to come in at the foundation stage, just so that they can make sure that there's a conduit so that they can get the power from the city connected to the home in the right spot. We had to redig a little trench and it caused a little delay for us. So that would be one little tip that I've learned for the next one. So have your electrician come in when they're doing the forming, before they pour the concrete for the foundation, and then let the framers do their thing. Once the framers are done, you bring the electricians in again. They do all the pre-wiring for, outlets and lights. After that, it goes plumber, then heating. And this is important because this sequence will save you a lot of headaches down the road. Plumber, then heating, AC guy, low voltage guy. Low voltage is for all the audio visual, doorbell. I forgot my doorbell for a bit, but we got that reinstalled. And alarm, those types of things. And then you bring the electrician back in at the end. He'll finish up his job after those guys have gone through. You call the engineer for inspection, so the engineer will come through and just take a look at all the framing, make sure everything's right. He'll sign up a letter for you. You get the truss inspection done. The city's going to have a certain amount of paperwork that they'll require, and then you apply for final framing inspection. Now, the one thing for the city, for New Westminster, where I'm building, is they wanted a sheathing inspection, so they wanted to inspect all the plywood on the outside and sheathing. Then I had to wrap the home. Then I called for final framing inspection. At final framing inspection, basically everything has to be done before it's covered up for insulation, as you can see behind me right there. And that's a big one. Once you pass final framing, you've got most of the work out of the way. And then after that, you have insulation, vapor barrier, and then you're ready for drywall. And that's our next stage. And I am very, very happy to get there. If you have any questions, don't hesitate to call, but that's where we're at right now. Next time you see me, you'll see the drywall up and hopefully some millwork being done and maybe some siding on the outside. Thanks for watching. Hi folks, James here. As you can see behind me, the drywall is up, mudding is in progress, and things are coming along nicely here at the house I'm building in New West. So what has been happening since the last video, basically drywallers came in, they taped the place, they mudded. The boarding, which is the process of installing all the drywall sheets, only took 3 days. They were just machining through, and that's for a 3,000 square foot home and detached garage. But the mudding and the skim coating that they do afterwards takes a few weeks. We're about 2 weeks deep into this, probably going to be 3 or 4 weeks in total. And then we have the painter come in, do the primer coat. We have the finisher come in, start doing the crown moldings. I'm going to do some wainscoting in here. I'm going to do a trim on 4 sides of all windows, 3 sides of doors. And basically you have all the millwork done for the finishing carpenter on the inside. Simultaneously, on the outside, I've just secured a siding guy that's going to do basically soffits and siding and trim around the windows on the outside. So I'm going for more of a heritagey look, so I'm going to have some wood soffits, as much cedar shingle as I can afford, and hardy siding to fill in the rest in the less visible areas. I'm also going to have wood decking, wood railings. It's going to fit the character of the neighborhood nicely. Look forward to seeing that progress. Future trades that I'm starting to work with right now and line up for the future would be a landscaper. It would be nice to have some walkways to the house and the driveway in. And so I'm securing a landscaper. I need a window well done as well, where they're going to do a bunch of pavers and Allen block. And I'm just waiting on my landscaping plan for my designer right now, and then that will take place. And then secondly, I need a stone guy and I need a tile guy. So painter comes in, primes, millwork guy comes in, does the millwork. Tile needs to be done shortly after that, and then I have a bunch of finishing trades on top of each other. Anyway, look forward to seeing the progress. Stay tuned. My name's James. Thanks for watching. Welcome to the inside of the home. I'm standing in the living room, and as you can see behind me, there's been some progress since the last one. I believe the last video is just drywalled. Now we have it primed. The finishers are pretty much 95% done with the trims around the windows and baseboards. We have a lot of the tile done, and cabinetry is on its way as well. Next step is basically painting. The painters are working away at the moment, and then once they're complete, then we get the cabinet guy to put in the final cabinets. We get the granite guy to measure everything, get the granite ready. Got to pick out the sinks and faucets, and then the tile guys will do the backsplash after that's all done. Then the cabinetry guy comes back, and the railing guy comes in, then the flooring guy. So lots of trades over top of trades right now, and this is the time where you're making all your decisions on finishing it. And there are a ton of them. So if you're a little bit, one recommendation would be to be a little more prepared at this stage. And when you're going through framing and you're making less decisions, go out to the stores, pick your granites early, pick your tiles early, because a lot of the tiles have a long lead time and you may not get your favorite one. So get as many of the materials pre-planned as possible. Anyway, let's go take a look at some of the things that we've done here. So we have we're doing wainscoting throughout the entire floor here, as you can see. And then a nice contemporary fireplace with gray tile and nice tall ceilings up there, as you can see. Now there will be an island here that's not presently here. Has nice crown molding. Those are 2 moldings, one on top of the other. And wainscoting throughout, even going down the stairs. And one of the things that I've just secured is a railing guy to do the railings for this place. And wainscoting going up the stairs. So one of the things that we did with this home, and I hope the lighting's okay, is we went with a beveled edge 3x6 tile with a gray grout. Just want to have a nice timeless tile that's not going to date ever, hopefully. Anyway, that's about it for now, guys. Look forward to doing the next video blog and seeing more finishing done. So hopefully next time you see me, well, hopefully the place is painted and maybe the cabinets are in, granite's in, floors are in. This is just the busy time of finishing the home. This is when trades are all on top of each other, and this is when it's exciting to see the piece of work come together. Anyway, talk to you soon. Hi, James Garbett here. As you can see behind me, the house is almost done. It has been a while since the last video because I've been absolutely exhausted and drained with this. It is a lot of work to build a home, and as you can tell by my hair, a lot of time has passed since the first video. In total, I figure this construction will be about 12 months and about 400 hours of my life. But overall, I find it very rewarding, and I'll probably do it again. Just to give you some tips on the last 2 months of construction, it's been pretty much finishing. You know, you get the stone guys and the siding guys on the outside, and the inside you have the interior painters, finishing guys, cabinetry guys, granite guys, plumbers. Everybody's working over top of each other. It's a lot of coordinating to do. Be prepared for it, pre-plan, provide lots of instruction, diagrams. The more instruction you provide, the less headaches you'll have. Visit the job site every morning, every evening. If there's issues, you'll catch them in the morning or the evening, and at least you'll reduce your chances of having work that you have to undo. So organization is everything. And also, if you're responsible for materials for any of your trades, set the expectations up with those trades that materials are always delivered the next day, no same-day deliveries. Otherwise, there's no pressure on them to be organized either. And you don't want to be running around last minute. That'll just take over your life. And also, you know, there's going to be surprises. Plan for them. I did not plan for all my surprises. As you can see right there, there's an oval window. That oval window had some headaches with it. That oval window requires oval trim. That oval window requires custom trim on the inside and outside. And if you don't plan for it, that custom trim is not readily available at Home Depot. It takes weeks to order. So that delayed me about 3-4 weeks. But overall, I love the window. I just wish I pre-planned for it a little bit better. Other than that, I'm going to show you the inside in the next video. I mainly wanted to give you an update that stay organized if you're going to take this plunge into home building, and hopefully you like the home that I'm building. This is a lot of woodwork here. That's natural stone that you see on the pillars, cedar shingles, pine soffit, cedar decking, wood everywhere. I'm trying to fit in with the character of New Westminster, and I can't wait to see it 100% done. Anyway, my name's James Garbett. Thanks for watching. Hi, James Garbett here. I'm standing in front of my finished, final occupancy passed new house in New Westminster, and I am so happy it's done. It took over about 1.5 years of my life, but 1 year of construction, 6 months of loose ends, because let's be honest, once you move in, you kind of take your time. But my learning experience from this, anyone looking to build a new house, one, hire a builder if you have no experience. I mean, I'm in the business, so I have a little bit of a head start, but if you have no experience, hire a builder, and don't rush that decision. Interview a few, go by referral, and don't just hire out of convenience. Make sure you're committing to a long-term relationship with this person, and I've heard nightmare stories. 2, hire reputable trades. It starts from the architect. Get a great architect. Gives you good plans. You can spend $2,000 on plans, you can spend $50,000 or more. The more you spend, usually the more detail you get. The more detail you get, the less instruction you have to give trades. And even some of them will do site visits and coordinate with the trades. It just comes down to your budget and how your commitment is to the job site. 3, when you get to the point where you're almost done or finished like me, before you do your final landscaping, check with the city to see if you're getting a new sidewalk. Check with your engineer, have them come out, assess the grades of the lot to make sure everything's sloped properly, and make sure you do this before you pay your final bill with the landscaper as well. And do those 2 things, then do the finished landscaping. Otherwise, you might have to undo some of it. If you're looking for approximate cost to go by for new construction of a new home, I'd say if you're in the suburbs, East Van, Burnaby, New West, Coquitlam, North Shore, go with $200 a foot as a rough guideline for a house similar caliber to the one behind me. You can spend more money, you can spend less, but $200 a foot is a good guideline. That's if you're hiring a builder. And if you're on your own, good luck and get ready for a crazy year of your life. Anyway, I'm done. I'm thrilled. I'm taking a breather, and probably going to sell this house in a couple of years. So if you want to buy it, let me know. That's it for now. Thanks for watching.